Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also, please click the like button to help grow this channel and get the word out on dividend growth investing, getting paid just for owning stocks. This is what dividend growth investing is all about. My main objective is to show a replicable way of building an ever-growing and reliable income stream, one that does not have to rely on the volatility of the stock market. You simply own shares of successful companies and you're automatically paid. In this video, I'm going to show you the dividends that I received for the month of October. And just to let you know, I'm a buy and hold investor and I buy more shares every week. And I also do videos on that on my picks in the beginning of the week and the end of the week. So we're going to wrap up October here, but let's look at the performance of this portfolio. We're also going to look at the dividends and also interest from my IRA, 401k, as well as savings, and just look at all of that as like income. And we can see over the last year what this portfolio has done. We can see on the lower right the money weighted return of this portfolio as it's at 30.05%. We can just see over the last year we've gone from the 190s. We've had a couple dips in here, going up and a couple dips here, and it looks like we're in a current dip right now. We were at a high of about in the 270s, mid 270s, close to it, and now we've dropped back down a little bit. But you can see that over the last year, though, we are way up. We'll go to the 3-month view and up 5% from there. And then over the last month, up 0.88, so nearly 1%. We'll just take a look at today's trading, and we've gone up actually a little bit at 0.2%. We've gone back up. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go into the activity log, and I'm going to show you the proof of the dividends I've received. Rather than just read them from a spreadsheet, you can see right here on the screen. This is my taxable M1 stock brokerage account, and we're going to filter this by the activity type of dividends. So I'm showing you the actual proof of receiving these dividends, and what I do with all these dividends is I reinvest them back into that stock which paid it. And what that's going to do is for the next dividend, it's just going to make it bigger and bigger. So not only am I reinvesting dividends, I am also buying more fractional shares twice a week. And also these companies are announcing dividend increases. We're going to go over one of them that just announced, I believe it was this morning, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So first up was ADP, paid me $4.01, and then Allstate, $5.78, and then Coca-Cola, $10.65, HP paid me $6.83, Kimberly-Clark, $12.26, and Nvidia pays a really tiny dividend. It's 1 penny per share. I own 40 shares, so 40 cents there from Nvidia, but Nvidia is a growth stock. It does pay a dividend, and that's why it's in the portfolio, because I think in the future Nvidia could pay a higher percentage or higher yield percentage, that is, over time. So right now it's a very tiny yield, but I'm predicting it's going to be a better yield, and hopefully my 40 shares will pay higher dividends in the future. Then next up is Merck at $9.51. Then Illinois Toolworks, $8.54. Fifth Third Bank, $19.14. Here's a monthly payer, O'Reilly, $13.11. And then Cisco, $12.46. Oracle, $5.47. Here's the big one that pays every single month. BST, $492.43. And then the last one was from JP Morgan Chase, $8.05. We're going to go over to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and in this spreadsheet it has all the positions that are in my portfolio. And I'll show you the holdings tab really quick. I'll also leave a link below to my M1 Pi so you can see everything I'm invested in as well as the allocation, but I'll just scroll through here and just show you what it consists of. Again, it's 52 positions. SCHD is the largest position. It's over $100,000 of the total value of the portfolio. And we can see it just consists mainly of just blue chip household names in here, like Apple, Microsoft, McDonald's, and things like Waste Management, Caterpillar, Pepsi, Depot, Lowe's, Starbucks, and on, Coca-Cola, Hershey's, and then the smallest one is Pinnacle West at the bottom. You see ADP, that was one of my dividend payers of October. But back to the sheet, I'll also leave a link below to this Google Docs spreadsheet. You're welcome to use it and put your own stocks into it. And it has a company name, the ticker symbol here. This is let's actually start over here. Company ticker, and then the share price. And this uses a Google Finance function here to pull that, so it's live. These will be changing as I'm talking here. Here's the average share price that I've paid for each of my shares. And then here is the current market value. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss in dollars. Here's my gain or loss expressed in a percentage. Anything above 25% will be in the green. You can see like Home Depot, Prudential are above that 25%. Here is the quarterly dividends per share. And then SCHD has a variable dividend, so I've colored that in purple. And O and BST, those are monthly payers, so I've put those into blue. Let me scroll up here. We're going to go over the stocks here that paid me. The ones in the green here, these are my October payers, so we'll just leave it right here. So here's the yield percentage for each of these, and then here's the yield on my cost, and then here's the pay date. And this is the date that it appeared in my M1 account. M1 has a 1-day delay, so these October 2nd payers, they actually technically paid in the 1st, but there's a 1-day delay to transfer it over. And here's the dividend here. Actually, this is the next dividend. Here's the actual dividend paid. And the reason why the next dividend is larger is I reinvest these dividends. So the $4.01 bought me more ADP, more fractional shares. So then my next dividend is going to be $4.03. And you can see how the next dividend is going to be larger for all of these. You can also just take a look at BST. It went up by over $3 for my next dividend. It paid me $492.43, and I reinvested the dividends. So at the end of November, I'll be getting $495.85, and that's if I don't buy any more fractional shares of BST before the ex-dividend date. So we'll do a quick count up of these dividends. You can also see the total dividends and then the likely increases as well. You can see like Nvidia in May, they announced a 150% increase of their dividend, but of course they have a lot of room to increase that with their current yield at 0.03%. Here's the yield on my cost, almost 0.3%, which is not very high, but Nvidia, look at the gain or loss I've had at over 880% gain in stock appreciation, so I'll take that. So we'll just do a count up of the dividends, and this is the first month of Q4, and the first month of the quarter always pays me the least. We can see the sum in the lower right corner there at $608.64, and next month's going to be bigger in November, and December is going to be much larger. It's going to be over double what this is for the month. So let's take a look though at the next dividend. So in January is the next time this group is going to pay again. It's going to pay more. It's going to pay $612.92 compared to the $608.64. So if nothing happens, there's no more dividend increases, I don't buy any more shares, it's going to be this much more, $612.92. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to be buying more fractional shares of these, so it's going to go up. There's going to be some dividend raises along the way. We can see like ADP, HP, and Merck, and who else? At least those are of the group are expected to raise their dividend in November, so that's going to increase my January dividends as a result. So, and I'll show you some more about this sheet. I'll scroll down and show you what it does here. Here's the total portfolio value, here's the cost basis, and here's my gain or loss within just this portfolio. And then here's the color key. We're in the light greens in October, so we're in Q4, so we're in October, November, December, and we're in the first month of it. So it's light green, so November will be medium and December will be the dark. And then over here we have the monthly cash flow average, getting very close to the $1,000 a month and the $12,000 annually. And something I wanted to show you was Exxon actually just increased their dividend. They just announced that. So let me go to a link here. I use Seeking Alpha for the latest dividend increases. Let this load up and I'll scroll down. I'll show you. What I do is I usually look for these. I'll scan these probably every couple days. I'll look and check, and I saw this. There's a 4% increase. Exxon Mobil announced their dividend from it was at 95 cents and now it's at 99 cents. So essentially 4 cents per share increase. And I'll show you what that did to my dividend income. I've already updated my sheet to reflect the 99 cents, but I'll show you what it was before. Let's scroll over. So my next dividend, and it's going to pay me, it'll show up in my account on December 11th, will be $12.50 now, but before the increase, which was at 95 cents prior, so we'll change to 95, we're going to see the $12.50 go down to $11.99. So it would have been $11.99 had Exxon not announced that. But now we're at $12.50, and let me show you in my monthly average dividend tracking tab what that did to my monthly income real quick, as well as a couple dividend drips that I had this morning. So I had two events this morning. I had the Exxon 4% dividend increase, and that raised my monthly income by 17 cents. But we look at BST and JP Morgan, those dividends that rolled into me this morning, and that increased my monthly income by $3.44. So all these events are, deposits. I do the two $100 deposits per week. You can see like Starbucks, they announced a 7% increase. Pinnacle West had a 1.7 dividend increase. So you see all these dividend increases too. So these dividends are not remaining static. They're just all the time. Every couple of days I'm getting dividend increases. I'm doing drips. I'm doing buys. And you can see what that's doing to my income within this portfolio. So let's go on over to the dividend tracker tab. I've been doing these videos since January 2021, and we can see the portfolio value there at 18.7, and then the dividends paid here at 37.41, and that's from January 2021 when I first started doing these videos and kind of tracking this. Let's scroll down to where we're at right now, and we just closed out October. And we finished yesterday. We closed at 267,200. You can see we're up about $1,000 right now, and this is rounded to the nearest $100. Here's the 608.64. Let's look at October 2023. So from a year ago, I was paid $549.56. So you can see how this trajectory is heading up. And then we'll look at like November 2023. We're expecting more than this. It's going to be at least 650, I'm estimating, and this I'm predicting it's going to be over 1700 for December 2024 in these, but we'll see what those wind up being. But to close out October, we'll see where we're at right now with the average monthly dividend. It was at $9.95.52, but with the dividend drips of BST, JP Morgan, and then Exxon, it's added $3.61 to my dividend income just on the first day of November. I've already increased the month-over-month gain of my income by 0.36%. And then here's the new annual dividend. This is like an annual paycheck here of $11,989. That's the monthly paycheck. And then here's the annual increase just in the first day of November. And I have not made any deposits, so we're at $0 there. And then to close this video out, we're going to go over my total net worth for the month of October. I'm also going to show you all the dividends that were received for October as well. And here I also have, well, my dividend portfolio over here. This is about 15% of my total net worth. Right here with my individual positions. Of course, most of this portfolio, though, is in SCHD, but I do have those individual positions. But I also have a strong foundation of ETFs over at Vanguard. I have an IRA, Roth brokerage account, taxable brokerage account, and the only dividend received over there was from VU, and that was 136.10. And then over, I have a 401k with T. Rowe, which is in Fidelity S&P 500 fund, FXAIX, and that paid me a dividend of 307.03. And then my IRA over at M1, VU paid me 780.75, and then VTI paid me 660.16. SCHD did not pay in October, so anything that didn't pay is in the black, you can see here. And then BST, this paid me this morning 443.77. You can see how this is going up, and most of the time the dividends are just reinvested back into BST, as well as the VU and VTI. Those were dripped right back in. So, but the dividends are variable for VU, VTI, so those are kind of going up and down over the place. There's the 608.64 from the dividend portfolio at M1 that we went into depth and went over those dividends one by one. And then over at M1, I have a savings account over there, and here was the interest that I pulled in, 194.69. And then I have a savings account over at Synchrony, 107.78. And then Capital One, my checking account, which pays 0.1%, I don't hardly anything in there, pay me 2 cents. And then I have a savings account at Capital One paying 4%, that paid me 34.85. So to close out all the dividends received for the month of October from all sources, it was $3,273.79. And also tracking my net W-2 income here, and then subtracting out expenses. Here's the gap, and it was 406.29. And then here is my net worth rounded to the nearest $100 as a close of yesterday, and this is going to be up a little bit. So closed at $1,742,800. But of course, this is very dependent on the market. We can see where we're at right now, just up a little bit, and we were at 742, 1,742,000. So we're up about 6,000 already, with just being up a little bit today. And then I also track the average monthly dividend over here, almost at 3,300. And I'm going to have bigger months every March, June, September, and December, because that's the last month of each quarter. We can see like September was a larger one at 44.67. You can look at July here, and that was 10,025. So I'm going to have some bigger ones where these things pay all at once. Or it looks like, SCHD, VTI, VU, these all came in. All the heavy hitters like VTI again, VU, VUG, VTSAX, and things like that, they all came in and boom, hit really big in July. So November, I think is going to be more like probably like October here. Let me scroll over. Let's look at October of 2023. We'll see how we're tracking there. So October 2023, I had almost 2,600. And then now we're up to 3,200. So you can see how this is kind of tracking up. We'll see what November 2023 was, 18. So hopefully we can beat at least 2,000 over here. And I think we will. So that's all I had to show you for this video, was what my total dividends were. And here are the dividends again. They're going to be from all these pairs right here. And the total from the portfolio was 608.64, but again, the total for all sources was $3,273.